Welcome to Uncontested Hockey. This is a clip from our past episode here. We got episodes, reaction videos, vlogs, a bunch of hockey content dropping all the time. Make sure to hit that sub button. We got so much hockey content. Check out our sponsors. Their links in the description. Enjoy the video.
The Senators fan base, as we've seen just from our views, is just hyped for this season.
They might be the most hyped fan base in the NHL. Coming at us, they're like, make a vlog in Ottawa. I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
They're pumped.
Out of all people to come to, it's us that they want to vlog from. But there's a lot of hype there. But obviously, they have some holes in that lineup. So, do you see them being able to compete for a playoff spot in a pretty stacked division?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll talk about just the hype here first. Like living here, you guys. I mean, walking around in the summertime. Whether I was at the Canadian Women's Open a few weeks back. The amount of conversations I had with people that said, I've made the decision to get season tickets this year, or I got half season tickets, or I have plans to go to way more games than I did in years past, or I'm actually excited to watch this season. Like things that I hadn't heard really anywhere the previous 4 years or so. It's just a remarkable turnaround and almost the perfect storm of there are young guys that were already here, those that needed to get locked up they're continuing to get better, and then of course the additions made over the summer and Giroux and DeBrincat and Cam Talbot. There's plenty of reasons to be excited again, and just the shift in how the team is interacting within the community, some of the topics that they're tackling and what they're valuing. It's quite something, just the turnaround in a few short months. It's like a brand new, in a lot of ways, a brand new organization, just in terms of the feel around it and how they're going about approaching things on the ice. It's going to be a real challenge, as you mentioned. Like as much as they look better on paper, are they enough better to sneak in this season? It's tough to say. Like I'm hesitant to believe that they will be. I could see them ultimately coming up short. They should be in a position where when the trade deadline rolls around, or even like U.S. Thanksgiving, that they're not out of it like they have been the last number of years. It'd be great for them to just experience playing meaningful games into March, because this core hasn't had that yet. Not even a guy like Thomas Chabot, who's now the longest tenured player. Like he's really never been part of any type of meaningful stretch of games as an Ottawa Senator, which is sad because he was drafted 7 years ago. So I think it's just when you look at the fact that they were minus 39 goal differential last year, they were 27 points. They missed the last wild card spot by. So are they going to improve? I think it's fair to say, yes, they will. But are they going to improve enough where they can overcome those numbers? It's going to be difficult. I think they're a team that should have, no issue scoring on most nights, that I think they're going to have better goaltending. Is their defense good enough to withstand some of the other top dogs in their division and the conference for that matter? It may still be another year of growth before they're really ready to tackle that. But they should be a team that a lot of times could be must watch for a lot of fans.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you. And Ottawa people have come at me in the comments for this, but it's just when I look at the blue line, I like Chabot, I like Zub, and I think Sanderson's going to be a player. I haven't been following his development super closely, but everything I'm hearing, like there's no reason why he shouldn't be. But realistically, you got two like defensemen, and then you're taking a bank on Sanderson. If I'm a Sens fan, and I know they've been so busy, I want to see a trade. I want to see a defenseman added to the fold here. There was talks of Chikrin. Do you get the sense, being close to the organization, that there's a defenseman on the way to Ottawa, or are they just going to go in with this group and run it and see what happens?
Unless something comes along Pierre Dorian's desk between now and the start of the season, I'm not too sure. But the thing is, like, he's made it clear that that's been, a priority to try out and go to find someone of that caliber. But I think it just this summer goes to show how difficult it is to actually pull that off, because you look at what else he was able to do. Like, I mean, that was, I thought, a really good deal in terms of what they gave up ultimately to get a 40 goal scorer in Alex DeBrincat, to convince Claude Giroux that this is where he wants to sign, to get a goaltender. I know he's 35 years old now, but still Cam Talbot's coming off, a couple of really good seasons in Minnesota. So he was active. He was able to pull off some moves that I think a lot of people around this market started to question whether he was going to be able to do. So you have to assume that he tried to bring in a top 4 defenseman. It just didn't happen. And on the Chychrun front, by all accounts, the ask from the other side in order to get that young defenseman, I don't think it's quite worth it, at least from Ottawa's perspective, just because I think Elliot Friedman threw out Shane Pinto there as one of the names that Arizona would have been asking about. I wouldn't want to give up that player. The fact that Chychrun's a left shot, and on the left side of the defense, Ottawa's in good shape. You mentioned Chabot, Jake Sanderson; those are both lefties. Nick Holden to play down in your bottom pairing as a veteran guy. He's there on the left side as well. To force one of those guys to now have to flip onto the other side, you got the potential that, maybe the chemistry and just the flow isn't what you would want it to be. And to, the player's no fault of his own, I mean, Chychrun's got quite a checkered past in terms of injuries. He's having trouble staying healthy. So you pull off this big, massive move, and now the guy's only available 40-some games a year. And then you gave up a lot for a guy that's only in the lineup half the time. I mean, that's not ideal either. So they maybe seems like they're in a position where they're forced to go with who they have in house right now. And that's why, like I say, as it stands, as we have this conversation here today, that could be a reason why they're just not quite yet to get over that hump of, okay, we're in the mix for a playoff spot, to now we're a playoff team.
Thank you for watching. Hit that sub button. We got content for every NHL team, and that's a wrap.